Hey guys, welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this now moment with myself and with one another. My intention with all of these videos is to assist in raising the frequency and the vibration, just in general. And so I want to back up and say thank you for watching these videos if you haven't seen them before, and welcome back if you have. I've been guided to go on a little hiatus, so I haven't done a few videos in a few days, although I have recorded quite a few. I wasn't sure in which order to post them. So I'm just going to roll with this and kind of go with the flow. And a lot of the messages that I've been getting are more about Earth, and and getting back to the basics. So I have a feeling that's where this is going to go. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. I'll be adding more to my blog, a lot more work there. And I'm noticing the work that I'm changing as well, in one-on-one session is more of, it's got more of a conversational feel to it. It's more about what we're doing as a collective to assist one another rather than getting into the healing so much. And let me just back up and say, what the biggest message that's been coming through is we have to do the work ourselves. And while we listen to other light workers and other beings and we go and get Reiki and energy work done, that's great. I did it too. There comes a point when we have to take responsibility for our own emotions, and things we haven't worked through. So I will be talking a lot about that at some point, kind of doing like a little whiteboard, teaching Keep It Simple Starseeds on working through that. But essentially, we're being asked to kind of go back within and figure out, not from here, but from here, what needs to be integrated and changed and accepted and received and processed and digested, because there's a lot of people out there who are still looking outside of themselves for that. And the message that comes through a lot is it's about going within. Everything is here. And so if we see something outside of us, we can recognize that it is an aspect that is presenting itself for it to be healed. Healed isn't even the correct word. I think integrated is more when it comes to healing that word. But I just had this amazing session with this other light worker, and we just had this great conversation. And we were talking about, she was using the word morphed, which I love. I've been using that too. And I'm recognizing that it's no longer a certain process. It's now just, what can we shift into? What are we feeling in this now moment? And just allow that to kind of work its way into who we are now, not what we were even 5 minutes ago, just being in this space now. So I just want to share a little bit of that. So I'm just going to go into a little bit of flow, and the messages that have been coming through have been a lot about Earth. So I'm just going to see what kind of comes through from here. And of course, it's always good just to set your intention for this to be for the highest and greatest good and benevolence for all, including yourself. And that's it. That's it. And a lot of the messages that have been coming through in this language is ancestral tone. And as we come forward and through what it is that we have just stepped through, this new cycle that we have just now entered, through the new moon and through whatever phase we are morphing into in our life, it allows us to become more aware of what is being offered as a dynamic interplay between the reality that we have created and the reality that which we wish to create. So we are constantly being invited to reassess where we are in every given moment, in every given breath, in every given thought. And as we recognize which thoughts we do not wish to partake in, and that's basically in reference to energy. So the more we give our energy to a thought, the more energy we take from that, and vice versa, the more energy it takes from us. So a lot of times, some of the distractions that we find that come up in our lives, they can either be used as lessons, they can be used as and lessons is even an old word. The messages that have been coming through are recognizing that they need to be basically moved through. So recognizing that these patterns are sometimes old patterns that really, let's jump off that hamster wheel and be aware of what we're feeding into. And we can use basics like affirmations. I am God, I am sovereign, I am free. I choose to feed into this, not this. And focus on what you do choose to feed into rather than what you don't want to be a part of. Bia o kuehe and the head estikiniana. Bua wa he aku kuene ia ia kuohe na a ua he na ki. Di estia wa kuku mo oha e ene ki estia wa kuku mo ena. Being here in this now moment allows us to recognize that we truly are the landscape. We are truly embrace this moment. And rather than bracing against something it is that we do not wish to see, recognizing that that is no longer necessary as a part of our landscape. If we choose not to see, if we choose to say we do not wish to see this landscape anymore, change your direction, because it is truly your choice. And yes, if you feel fear, anger, regret, bitterness, fear, recognize it, feel it, allow yourself to take it in, sit with it, and allow it to essentially pass through you. Allow it to then transform into the light that it is which you wish to seek, which you wish to see. The earth is calling out to us in this time frame that we exist in. The earth is requesting that we step it up in divine love, that we recognize we are the masters that came here to create our own reality with the earth. As earth is creating her world, we are creating in unison, in oneness. As she expands, we are being invited to expand our frequency as well as our expression and expansiveness in recognizing that we wish to see more of beauty, wonder, joy, and all of these hamster wheel patterns that many of us have been running on, or that are being brought up from our life from perceived previous lifetimes, are no longer necessary in this new fabric of reality if we choose to just say, we're done. So there are people out there that feel like you have to do all these steps and you have to go through this to get to this, to get to this, and that may be your reality. But there's also what they're telling me is it doesn't have to work that way. It doesn't have to. You make that choice. And so you can choose, boom, I'm done. Done. I am moving forward, up and out. And in just making that choice and recognizing that that pattern has then presented itself in your awareness, it allows you to kind of anchor in more of what is being offered through these activations, through these lineups, through these weaving tapestries. And as we tap into our ancestry, as we tap into our mastery, we then tap into the weaving that we are creating. Thinking of Mother Spider. So the Native Americans refer to Spider as being the creative force. She created the world because Spider is 8. It has eyes. It can see many different angles. It has and it is infinite, right, in shape. And it basically creates this web, and through this web, not only does it see, but it is all through vibration that everything is offered. And in essence, the web that she creates comes forth from her own body, from her own spin, from her own creation. And the beautiful shape comes from infiniteness that we are all connecting into. And recognize as we connect from an infinite perspective, we allow ourselves to then weave into our patterns newness, connected and pulled up from the waves of the earth that she is providing with us, not to us, with us. Many of us are still looking outside of ourselves for the answers, and what we are not necessarily recognizing that we are our ancestors. We are our answers. We are our own saviors as we embody this crystalline frequency that is allowing us to reconnect with more patterns, vibration, and harmonizations that are openings, activations. And if we're here, it's love and light. If we're coming from other places, recognizing that we're pulling that in as well. And again, you can essentially cut those cords with love, or essentially clear those energies and come back into the heart. So they're inviting me just right now to step into this for a moment and say, again, I have that video, how to tell if you're in your heart versus in your head. Also recognizing that as we tap into these extrasensory abilities that we have, it's not always us. Like, who does this belong to? If this isn't yours, if it isn't something you want to connect with or bring into your field, you have the power to say, no, this is not what I choose to bring into my field. And if it is a part of you and you feel that it is a part of you, then say, thank you. I now choose to clear that. I choose to clear that now. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. And that's part of the work sometimes, is doing those affirmations. And in addition to that, they're saying do the heartfelt frequencies. So visualizing the heart, and we'll just do that briefly. Going into the heart and visualizing golden frequency. It can be magenta, a rose gold frequency. It can be pink. And visualize that just expanding and pulling out through the chest wall, up through the throat, down into the belly. Expand this golden frequency. I like to think of it as melting gold or rose gold or magenta colored, or kind of pulling out and filling up the entire body. I like to go into a space of gratitude for Earth, gratitude for your loved ones and your pets or children. And as you feel into this space of appreciation and gratitude, it allows you to pull out and send this around you in this field of kind of this toroidal field, which looks like an apple, or think of the magnetic field around the earth. And I like to visualize sending that out around in this toroidal field around me from side to side. And then I pull it out of my heart down through the spine, out through the third eye, well, up through the third eye and the crown, and up through the spine, up through the back of the skull and around. So it kind of wraps around into this through the sides, and then it comes out the front and the back, and then I spin it around me so it all connects. And as I visualize this energy pouring forth from the heart, and I'll do a separate meditation on this. This is just a really quick in the flow. I visualize this energy just being connecting through to source energy, right? Love, light. And I visualize this source energy connecting to my oversoul. And just drawing this frequency and asking to be in the heart space and the resonance of love, of joy, of gratitude and appreciation. thinking of the flowers on the earth. I think of the bees because I love them. I think of the beautiful food that the earth brings forth for me to eat, and I feel grateful for that. I think of my pets, and all that does is that helps this feeling to just pour out a little bit brighter and a little bit more expansive. If you have emotions that come up when you do these types of meditations, let them come up. And as you continue to do this, just breathe, visualizing this light pouring out around you into this apple torus field, bubble, if you will. And you can kind of just walk around with that. So I'll do a separate meditation just on that, but they're reminding how important it is to stay in that frequency, because as we go through and integrate these emotions that are coming up, or these past life connections or perceived past life connections, because recognizing sometimes it isn't, recognizing that it isn't real. It's just something that we think is real because of what we've bought into or what we believed and what we've been told. So feeling that this is what it's all about, because we came here, we've been there and done that. We've gone into those spaces and we're clearing that now. So we're just kind of allowing ourselves to be in this space of harmonious interplay with our heartstrings and our heart chords and our frequency, our bandwidths, so to speak. I'm going to end on that note, and I'll go into a little bit more flow in my next video. This was meant to just kind of get the ball going again, get the ball rolling. And I just was guided to look at this chart that I wrote a few videos ago. They're reminding me to just kind of end on this note, to recognize that we are memory, which is sound, color, shape, frequency, vibration, harmonics, resonance, and essentially what that all ties into is coherence. So the more we can be in this space of 0-point coherence, the more we will come from a space of 0-point recognizing what we are not and what we are. And even though there is that, well, we are one. Well, yes, but I came here to resonate and to be in coherence and to be in a space of love. I came here to be in a space of light and to essentially ascend from a lower dense energy into a higher, back to source. I did not come here to continue to harmonize with the lower frequency, because that is no longer what I choose to be a part of. Whether I chose to do that in a past lifetime is, to me at this point, irrelevant, because that is no longer what is in this now moment. So again, hearts, and I love all of that. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, what are we plugging into? Unplug. It's okay. Give yourself permission. I'll do more of these heart coherence-based energies. What's coming through, I'm sharing this to you guys in flow, which means I'm connecting to my oversoul. You guys all have this capability. Go here first. That's where the connection comes through in the clearest form, and it isn't distracted by all this noise on the outside that is whatever it is. So I'm just going to end this in a little love and light, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know this is a very just kind of all around basic video. I'll have a lot more. I've got so many more whiteboard videos. I just, so for some Kids Keep It Simple Starseeds about what's going on with the chakras. I have more videos about what's going on with our connection with Mother Earth. I'm going to do another video right after this about that. So in love and light, guys. Namaste.